with you. I'm stepping in for Annette McCoy today with Elain Ann, our wonderful numerologist. And it's just such a pleasure and a treat because I don't I don't often get to step in for Annie, and I really love doing that. Good morning, Elain Ann.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Okay, so today we are going to be speaking about numerology, what it actually means for you in your personal life, and something that I didn't know anything about, and that's our own personal numerology symbols. How cool is that?
That's true. The symbols all represent you as a person, and it's sort of like a hidden thing. Not many people realise there's like music to your name. And there's also, with the symbols, they stay with you for all your life. So you're born with it. Okay, so life number ones are like a full stop. It means period, stop. All right. But it also says I'm starting afresh. When I come to the end, there's the full stop. So they need to know that they can start things and they can put the full stop anywhere, basically. So they have a choice. All right. And with the two, it's two dots, but it means putting things together, passion, all that type of stuff. With the three, it's a triangle, like you're a life number three. And it's all about mind, body, spirit. Everything happens in threes.
Yes, so
and then
true.
you have your four, which
that is so
box.
true.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah, and with the four, it means the builder, but it's a little box. Okay. So the box is saying, I am comfortable in my little box. They have to learn to step out and know that they're safe to step out. Yeah. So then we've got, sorry,
go ahead. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
And then 5 is the five star, the pointed 5 star. Means the star as in actor. It's talking about people, that drama, stepping out of stepping into their fear, basically. And the 5 star, it's always shining, always beautiful. Okay. With the 6, it's the 6 star. So it's all about nurturing, caring, loving. And with the 6, it's also the symbol working with your tools you have. Then we have the 7, and it's the square with the top of the, what is it? The triangle. So it's a square with a triangle on top. So it's like a church. So it's the belief system. It's about also talking about preaching or being that authority figure, like when we were growing up, the priests and that were authority figures to us. And then you have the 8. So the 8 is all about 2 circles going round and round, but they're also 2 squares on top of each other. So it's saying finding your balance and everything like that. And with the 9, it looks like like a church itself with the antenna on top. So it's saying they're very evolved people. Sometimes they can be a little bit, 9 people get misread. So they seem to be high authority, but inside they're really not. They're very calm and gentle and loving. But they learn about other people all the time. And with learning about other people, it's like they're humanitarians. So, yeah, they work a lot with spirit as well. All the numbers work with spirit in some way, shape or form, depending on your birthday. So, yeah. And we have our, there's all different types, like colours and everything like that.
That's going to be awesome to explore that as you evolve with your new show on Angel Heart Radio. New show, everyone, which is starting May 9 in the US. Sorry, May 8 in the USA, May 9 in Australia. So, Elain Ann, I was thinking before, as you were sharing about, oh gosh, I've lost my train of thought. It was one of the, it was,
it was morning, wasn't it?
It's been a challenging morning, everyone. With one of the symbols about authority and aggression, I think it might have been. So does that mean that if someone's working in the shadow side, that they may be very aggressive themselves? And
yes,
part of their purpose is to learn how to release that and step into a peaceful and a way of communicating with others?
That's right. And what they do is they normally sit back and watch people. So they learn by watching other people. Now, nines can be really out there looking after everyone in the whole wide world. But there's some that will just sit at home, and when they go out, they sit and learn more. And it's not the big, huge things. It's all about little things. And they may, like with Reiki number 9s, they may send out love or EMF or whatever. They send it all out from where they're sitting. But with the 9 is all about the head. So the top of the 9, the circle, is saying that's your head, and the long piece, that's your spine. And see, number 6, that's your spine, but that's your creative center. That's the mother. I'm creating, I'm being. So, yeah, it's fascinating.
Practical. It makes a lot of sense when you hear it that way, doesn't it? Everything is very practical and it just, what else would it be, kind of thing?
That's right.
You know?
And people, like, they may walk around and go, oh, I'm feeling really yucked. I just don't know what to do with myself. We do have hidden numbers as well. When we have peak numbers and we have challenges. With the 0 challenge, it's more about people looking and saying, well, this is going this way. I'm just going to go with the flow, because there's no start or no end to a 0. So 0 empowers it. It's like a magnifying glass. So if you want to make it an issue, it will be an issue. If you decide to step back, it will be okay. I know someone that's got a 0 in their challenge at the moment, and it's like, I'm just going to go with the flow.
Okay. Now, I know I look like I am completely distracted, but I'm trying to find here we go, the chat, because we've got some people in our comment section, either on Angel Heart Radio on Facebook or Angel Heart Radio on YouTube. And this is what we want to be able to do, is get those messages to you. We have a question from Audrey, which I'm going to come to right now, everyone. Audrey's question is 9 the September, or is my birthday 12? I'm not quite sure what that means.
Okay.
Elain is a 9, but Audrey, could you explain to us what you actually mean there so we can help you out with that, please? Okay, so Elain says she is a 9. So where are you a 9? Is that your life path, Elain? When people say they're a 9 or a 3 or a 1, what are they referring to, Elain Ann?
So a life path number is adding up, adding up your day number, your day number. It's been one of those mornings. Your life. So you add up
have a cup of tea and just keep going.
Your day number, your month number, and your year you were born. Okay, so you add it up, like, say mine, 29 would be 2 plus 9 is 11. With the 8 is 19. and my universal year number is a 20. So that will, what did I say? I'm alive 3, because you add 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 5. Then you add it all up, and then you work it down, so you might end up being a 21 or a 12. So you add that up to one number left. So you go, say 2 and 1 is 3.
Okay, so we've got Audrey, who is saying, okay, first of all, we've got Elaine. She says, thank you, I'm a 9, which we know, but she's clarified that that's her life path number.
Yeah.
And Audrey has clarified as well. She wants to know, please, and then I want to step back to you, Elaine, and talk a little bit about your life path number for you. So, Audrey, you have given us the information, so that will be the 12th of September, so 12/9/1961. What does this mean for Audrey, please, Elain Ann?
1961. Hi, Audrey. You're at day number 3 because you've got the 12 there, so we're sort of putting it to one number. Okay, so you've got your 3 and your 9 is 12, and then you've got your 10, which is the 19th century. So 12, that's 22, 23, and 9. Yep, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, God, I've lost it.
Look, it's been a day, everyone. I just want to stop here and say we've had a day already. So I know things are a little bit clunky at the moment. Bear with us, please. Audrey, what Elain Ann is conveying to you is what she's doing is she's taking all the digits. So it's 12. So that's the 12 is a 1 and a 2. So that's 1 plus 2. Then you've got your 9 plus 9. And then you've got your 1961. So plus 1, plus 9, plus 6, plus 1. You add all of those up. And what does that come to, Elain Ann?
I've worked it out to 2911. So it means she's an old soul. The 11 means back here again to stand up on her own 2 feet. And sometimes with the life 11, they're finding it ups and downs. I know that's a general thing, but with the 2911, the 2 is all about your mum's stuff, looking after people. And because 2 is the mum number. It means compassion, understanding. It does mean analytical mind, always start at the bottom and move to the top. The 9 represents humanitarian, but both those are spiritual numbers. So the 11 saying she's an old soul, but very intuitive, very medium-like, if you want to say, the intuitive, psychic type of person. Her gut, it means a lot to her. And for this at the moment, that's 12, and then plus 5, because she hasn't had a birthday yet. So she'll be in 8 an 8 year. So personal year numbers always change, not your life numbers. And Audrey is in a 5. So 5 is freedom of the spirit. So it's letting go, stepping in and out of your fears. But it's saying real estate. It's talking about letting go of people and things around her. Audrey, it's also saying the 5 is I want to spread my wings and take off. But it's saying first I need to let go of the emotional side. I know it's easier said than done. And it's also saying it's about real estate. So what's in front of you? Okay, so that's what she's in for this year.
Okay.
It's a 5 until her birthday. Then she goes into a 6. And that's her.
She is loving it. She's got a big thank you and lots of hearts. She's
oh, thank you, Audrey.
With everything. My first So this, I've just asked Audrey, and again, everyone, when it looks like I'm completely distracted, it's because I'm asking people in the chat, in the comments. This makes sense to you, Audrey? Is there anything you need clarification on before we move on to Elaine? And isn't it fascinating? Because when we see, so Audrey's come in today and she's got some questions, very simple questions. And because you've been able to explain to her what this all means, the penny's dropping, right? It's making sense for Audrey. And I really love that, because we can hear and read lots of different things, but until it makes sense to us, it's just stuff, right?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me, but to someone, and it could be just a little bit of courage, because 5 is courage and 5 is the balance. I need my balance. So she's in for an interesting year after her birthday, which is the 6th, and it's all about family and being more creative.
Okay.
So
I think your birthday's the 12th. No. Don't listen to me, because I'm having a day as well.
Yeah, 12th of the 9th.
Audrey says it totally resonates. Thanks for hanging in, everyone. You know what it's like when you have a day. So it totally resonates for Audrey. We've got Gail and we've got Mary Ann, who are here with us with some information for and a request from Gail. Can you repeat this again? How do you get your personal number? Yes. Okay. So if our life, okay. So what her question is, how do we get our personal number? And if that number changes every year, how does that work with our life path number being the sum of all, is what she'd like to know.
Okay. Because every year it's different. Every year we start a new number. So the number you're born with stays exactly the same. And that's like, I'm a life number 3 as well. So 3's, it's all about unique, being that spiritual person, living your truths through your spirituality, basically. Now, with your personal year number, now that's 1 to 9. Okay, so every 9 years it will start back at 1, and then we'll change things to, it's like if you're in a last 9 year, personal year, it's like I look back and say, oh, I didn't finish this and this and this. It doesn't matter, you've got another 9 years to do it. So you drag it on with you. And with each, so it's your day number, your month number, also this year's number. Okay, but if your birthday, say like August or June, you don't come into that frequency until about a month prior, so May. And if your birthday's in June, you'll start feeling the influence of the 1 to 9 thing, but it will always change. Okay, and you have your own personal month as well.
Okay, so just looking at the personal number. So, so looking at your birthday, what you need to do is you need to work out your personal number of the year that you're in, which is actually quite easy, because you add the numbers of your birthday, your birth month, and your birth year. So for me, it would be the 5th of March, so 5/3/1957. You add
that's your life number.
That's my life. Oh, yes, true. Sorry. Thank you for that, because that really highlights it. So what I would do is I would take 5/3, and because I have had a birthday this year, 2022. For you,
so
because
that becomes a 6
birthday this year, you would add your birthday, your birth month, and 2021, because you're not there yet for your next birthday.
That's correct.
But you're still currently in that life and in that in the personal number of whatever that.
And what I've noticed is when I've done readings with the numerology and the personal year, they say I've already done that, because sometimes people say you do it from your birth date to the following year. Others say you start fresh at the new year and to the end of the year. So it depends on the person.
It didn't actually make sense to me, Elain Ann, because if my birthday's in August, why would I do that? Because I'm still currently very fresh, just of months.
Yes. So it just depends on the person and who's teaching. But this is the way I was taught from your birthday to your birthday. But you always feel the influence probably a month or 6 weeks prior. So it's easy to do. It's just, it sounds a lot.
And especially when we're so just not together this week. I promise you, everyone, we are normally much more together than this. I can promise you that.
At least we've had fun.
Yes. I'm just answering Gail.
Yes.
Please forgive all my spelling mistakes, everyone, because hey. So Gail was saying, sorry, that was Mary Ann. So if I'm the 29th of May, I add that to 2022. And I've said no, you would add that to 2021 because
that's right.
The 29th of May hasn't occurred yet. However, you will be in that energy field because the 29th of May is so close.
That's right. That's correct.
Influence of that.
You'll get that influence of it. Yeah.
Even though you're
and see, May is
I'm not finished yet.
Oh, sorry.
So
sorry.
This is where we need those glasses with the eyeballs that fall out.
Yeah.
So I love you too, Audrey. Thank you. So does that make sense to you, Mary Ann? We need to know. Please tell us if that makes sense. And I have not forgotten you, Elaine. Let's go back to Elaine for a sec. Just got to go back and find you. So Elaine is a 9. Gee, I've got to go back through all them. That's her life path number. So what can we tell Elaine? Just scrolling through. So what can we tell Elaine for her, given that her life path is a 9? What can you share with Elaine?
So with Elaine, if she looks at her name, because that's my name, I did look it up many moons ago. Elaine, the E and the L represents angel-like. Because you look at all your angel names, they've got an E and an L. So apparently, Elaine is angel. So she's angel-like, always working with the angels or working on the platform with spirituality, doing modalities, different modalities as well. For Elaine, if she's a life number 9, she's always been called on to help. Or 9s are like police, they're authority figure. It's the same as the 7, but the 9 is saying, I need to end things. I need to get rid of what's pulling me back. That's a life number 9. And also with the life number 9 is communication from spirit. So you're talking about angels, you're talking about spirit friends, and she could be into Wicca or she could be into church. It depending on her outcome, what she feels better with. But the 9s are always thinkers, and sometimes I've got 2 9s in my birthday, and my brain just sometimes doesn't be quiet, even in sleep state. But with her, it's more about her learning it's okay to be who she is. And it depends on how many 9s you have in your birthday as well. So it can be a life number 9 being born on the 9th of the 9th. So that is saying I need to be in control, and it's like it's the need to cleanse and finish things. She could be a doctor, she could be a nurse, anything that's helping people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's amazing, I can tell you that. And you're right. Elaine says, oh my God, so true. And it is so true. I know Elaine. Elaine does.
Ah,
Yep.
hi, Elaine.
So isn't this wonderful? Gail saying this is very interesting. So looking at our numbers can either reveal information about us,
Yes,
or the other thing that it can also do is it can validate information that we already feel or are aware of about ourselves. So
yes,
this information can come through in a way that in a supportive role in many
that's
ways,
right.
which I think is
Yes.
fantastic.
It's really, it amazes me because I looked like at my grandson's numbers, but I don't do readings for children. No, because they're too impressionable. But I looked at his numbers and he worked out to be a life number 3 as well, like his nanny. And my daughter ended up being a life number 3. But she has two, the 24th of the 6th, and she has 2 sixes. One's hidden from the 24th, but she has the June. So with her, it's all about anxiety and working on self. But she's very creative. You show her something, she'll be able to just do it.
Wow.
She used to love all those fairy books as well. Shirley, I've forgotten her name, Shirley someone, but that kept her amused and that kept her in her own space, because sometimes they need, and especially with 9s as well, life number 9s, they need to be, when they've taken on too much, they need to go into their little cave, watch their movies or whatever, and feel comfortable and to de-stress everybody's stuff around her, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Gosh, that makes a lot of sense. How are you feeling about that, Elaine? Because I think that's wonderful information. I'm wondering if that sort of stacks up for you in your life experience. We have now Gail asking, do you have a book that you can that she can refer a reference to? Do you have a book yourself? Have you written a book?
Oh no, not yet. I
No,
say not
not
yet
yet.
because I've always wanted to write one
Okay.
about the
Yes.
numbers, but in simplicity. So it's not too hard to learn, because some of these books, they go really deep. I just want it to make, the desire I have for a book would be simplicity.
I love
And
that.
it's easy reading.
Mm,
And it basically hands-on, like you can read it and you can work out what it's talking about, because
yeah.
sometimes some of them are all are different. No matter what the books are, they're all different, because it's the person who's writing it, is their belief. I find that with a lot of spiritual books, I take what I want and leave the rest.
Yep. I think that's a good that's a very good way of doing anything. And it's actually a very good time to remind everyone that Angel Heart Radio programs should never be used to replace your professional advice, legal, medical, whatever it is, nor your own sound judgment. It's about coming back into trusting yourself and knowing that you are the one that makes the decisions for yourself. And that's a place of power. Now, the thing with this too, Gail, is Gail, I'm not quite sure if you're on the USA timeline or the Australian timeline, but Elain Ann will have her own numerology show beginning on May 8 in the USA, May 9 on the Australian timeline. And the great thing about this is you're going to be able to really work with Elain Ann every single week if you want to, if you've got something that you're trying to nut through or learn about. So this is a great opportunity for you, Elain Ann, to actually have a teaching platform as well.
Yes, it is. I just find sometimes when I'm thinking of numbers and say, like, thinking of today's date, which I've already forgotten, but working with today's date, that you can work out, say, if you're a life number 9, or as in Audrey, is it, or Elaine?
Now we're talking now to Mary Ann.
Okay. Mary Ann, what's her
Right.
life number?
What's
Or
your,
does she know?
do you know your life number, Mary Ann? So while we're waiting to find that out,
Yeah.
let's, and we'll come back to this, Mary Ann, for you. That's absolutely not a problem. We want to give you that information. She says, thank you, ladies, so much to learn. Do you know your life path number, Mary Ann, to save me going back through all the messages? We've got another question in here from, who was this one from? I think it was from Gail. Let me just double check to make sure I've got the right person. No, it was Mary Ann again. Oh, Mary Ann, you're like a sponge, aren't you, honey? It says, what about master numbers? She is a 38, which once those two numbers, 3 and 8, are added together, become an 11. And 11 is a master number.
That's true. 11, 22, and 33. Some say 44, depending on the people. It's the way they've been taught. But with Master 11, the 3, she's working through the 3, meaning Mrs. Have a Chat. Mary Ann, did you hear me? Is this Mary Ann we're talking
You'll do
to?
very, very well with us, Mary Ann. I'm a bit of a Mrs. Have a Chat myself.
And then it's working through the 3 to get the communication skills. It's talking about being on stage and opening up and showing people her wares. But it does mean the born entertainer. So then you look at the 8, it's all karmic, but it means she's very good with thinking and doing things with money, because the 8 represents karmic lessons, but it's also saying I'm working through the 3 to create what I want or my desires. And then she's looking at the 8 saying, well, people will come into Mary Ann's life for a split second or a lifetime. So it's like the contracts have completed, but the 8 represents money. Okay, so what 3 is saying, if you think positive about money, money will always be around you. If you think negative of money, I've never got enough and all that type of wording, you won't, because 3 is the communicator from the universe. So she's very intuitive. She's very, what she asks, she will receive. But then you move through the 8 and she's the 11, saying it's old school, old soul stuff she's working on. So the 11 is your legs, your 2 legs. She's walking through life.
Walking through life on your 2 legs. Okay, so Mary Ann, if you find that what Elain Ann has been sharing with you doesn't quite pan out too well for you, that means that you're being presented with the opportunity to elevate that by, for example, noticing the words that you use to speak about your finances, for example, and elevating that. So the more we elevate the energy of anything that we are doing, the more we begin to come into the fullness of who we truly are and everything we have been gifted with to support us on through this life's journey.
That's true. And see, I'm the 29th is 11 plus a life number 3. So I'm learning to speak up every day. Instead of, like, 3s are carefree and you're on the top grid. So your mind can tell you one thing, but your gut's telling you another. And see, with the 2, that's your gut. It's a mother's intuition. So going on your gut and looking at how can I change things, and having that positive spill within you, say, no, I trust the universe, I trust my angels, I trust my spirit friends, and see how that can change your whole world. It can actually be like a domino effect where it will, once you understand, being at my age, I've gone through so much stuff, but once I look back, I think, wow, I've got through all that.
Yeah.
and that's standing on my own 2 feet now.
Yeah.
So, and that's with everyone in the world. It's learning. I can't change the world, but I can send a thought out. And with Mary Ann, she can do that if she chooses to, even if it's just thinking of the sick and just saying, I'm sending out love to everyone that needs it. Whether she's a Reiki person or not, doesn't matter. But it's just sending out and having that strong will within herself. But she must look after herself as well.
And that's where we come into the shadow work. If we're always giving to others, it's about coming back into balance for ourselves. And the more we have,
that's right.
Ourselves, the more we actually have that we can then use to support others. Now, we have a question also from Mary Ann, I believe. Let me find it. Someone asked what the life path number means. Who was that?
Well, it's your life number. It's what you're being born with.
Okay. But how do you get that? How do you know what your life path number is? Can you explain that really simply?
You add all your numbers up and it's down to one number. So the day, month, year you were born. Your year you were born is called universal number, because that's the year you were born. And with that, like mine's a 20. So I'm always looking at partnership, relationships, my intuition. Do I trust my intuition and all that type of stuff, which, many moons ago I didn't, because I thought people would think I was nani. But I wasn't. It was just who I am. You've got to love who you are anyway. So for Mary Ann, it's more about your day, your month, the year you were born. And then you can work out from there what life number you are. And then when you're working a personal year number, that's when you look at your day, your number, and the year we're in. So it means right now what year we're in. And if your birthday, Mary Ann, say the October, your actual birthday doesn't start, your change doesn't start until October. But everyone's to their own. See, I look at December babies, right? And that means they haven't had that 5 vibration, so the 2021. But when I look at it, they've already looked. Yeah. So
sorry,
they've already, it depends on people how they want to look at it. So this is only on Elain's planet.
Elain's planet is a very nice place to be. Okay, everyone. So here's also great news for you. On the Angel Heart Radio Facebook page, when you hit the booking button or the book now button or whatever it's called, you can actually book a personal reading with Elain Ann if you would like to. Okay, so I'm just going down. Okay, right. So, okay, Mary Ann, we're going to just make this nice and simple for you, honey, because I can see it right here. Second, let me just make sure I've got everything sorted out. There I do. Okay, so you're looking at 29 plus 5 plus 2021. So what you do is you get your 29. So that's 2 plus 9. Yeah. Plus 5. Right. Yes. So 2 plus 9 plus 5 plus 2 for the 2021. Don't worry about the 0 because 0 doesn't add up to anything.
No.
Plus 2 plus 1. So Elain Ann is doing that for you right now, I'm thinking.
So that's 11 and 5 is 6 plus 5 is 11 because we're putting it down to one number. You never break the 11 down, or you always keep it as 11. All right. So her day, 29, is actually 29/11. So you've got 11, 16, and then 5, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So she's at the moment in a life number 3, which means a day number, a personal year 3. So the 3 is talking about letting your hair down, going out and be more social, be more creative about herself, 3 years are all about that positivity thought. Because, as I said before, what you think is what you get. And the part of a 3 year is learning to stand up and be open about what your desires are. Instead of holding your mouth shut, it's more about saying, what do you mean by that? Okay, so when someone's in a life number 3, it's about talking and speaking up, but in a nice way, of course. But the 3 is the triangle. So that's saying mind, body, spirit. I need to get into my spiritual self again, or my creative side, because they make good painters and they make very good writers as well. So that's just for this year until her birthday comes up, and then she'll be in a 4, and it's all about home life, security. It's about building. It can be more work coming her way. If she is working, it does represent more hours. So she may be called on to do a lot more, but it's also saying stop worrying about everybody else and start looking after yourself.
Yeah.
Basically.
Because when we don't have for ourselves and we constantly give to others, eventually the cup is completely empty, the well is dry, the energy is gone. But when we give, when we're replenished, and that also helps us to remember and understand and really start tuning into when we need to say no to others and give to ourselves. So it's a really nice balance that happens. It's not about always giving or not giving. It's understanding where we are right now, what our needs are, and how much we can safely and give in a balanced way. So this is a wonderful thing. That's right. And so Mary Ann, just have a sec, honey. Mary Ann, please let us know. I've added in there for you in the comments. So it's 2 + 9 + 5 + 2 + 0 + 2 + 1. That's all the numbers in your birthday, month and year. So let us know whether that actually explains it for you, please, hun.
With Mary Ann, is it? Yes.
Yeah.
Her M in her name and her A. The A is the most important number because we have numbers for each letter of our name. So the 1 means I stand tall, I own things, but it does represent opening brand new doors. And people may call on her because she stands her ground and she speaks up. But the 4 is the M. So 4 means the builder of the world, always making things happen. So that equals the 5. So she's more about freedom of the spirit. Don't cage me in. Don't stop me doing things. I have to feel free. And she's letting go of things from her past and working on them. And it could be this year where the 3 is, where she's speaking up and letting people know. Okay, but it is the born entertainer until her birthday comes up.
Okay, so the born entertainer part is for the number she's currently in, 1, which is the 4, right?
Yes.
So once you have your birthday, that number will then graduate if you're to another 5, if that makes sense to you. Fantastic. And guess what? I asked if it makes sense to her by breaking all that down and adding them up. Yes, 100% explained. Awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you.
That's really great.
So, it's funny how, it's not funny, haha, but it's just amazing how the numbers, because even when we're born, I don't do astrology, and that's one of my things. I don't regret not doing it, but I just feel I should have, in my younger days, be more focused, but whatever happened, and I didn't get around to it. But I would have loved to combine the numerology with astrology. I think that would have been awesome or wonderful, the way it goes hand in hand.
But here's the cool thing about that. Well, it's a great thing when we start looking at the topic of regrets. I wish I'd have done this, or maybe I should have done that. If only I'd have done that. Oh, crikeys. Hang on a second, everyone. Wow. I wish you could have seen what I just saw when I looked up. Got a great big ring light. And I've got it hanging on a hook.
Yeah.
And it was
It's
balancing
swinging.
on the very tip of the hook. How about that? We've just been talking about balance. Isn't this just such a great nod from the universe?
That's
You know,
right.
there is so much balance that we are capable of. Now, when we start looking at regrets are really amazing because they give us the opportunity. Regrets can help us move out of the sphere of I wish I had of and into the sphere of I am now going to. So
Right.
it can take us from regret into focused action, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah. I have a list of colours that represents with your life number. Would you like me to read them
So
out?
is this my personal life number or everyone?
Everybody's.
Okay,
everybody's.
I reckon that is a perfect show on its own because we've been giving so much. What do you guys reckon? Because we're only coming up now to the last, 10 minutes or so.
That's gone quick.
It does, doesn't it? It goes super fast. So
Yeah,
I think
I'll leave that
be,
for another time.
Yeah. And it actually feels like we're coming to a very nice place to actually wrap up today's show. We don't have to say, well, we've got an hour, we've got to fill it. I just want to say that it has been definitely next show, Marianne says. Yes. Okay,
Yay.
so that could even be your show on, are you in the USA, on the USA timeline, Marianne? So if you are, that could be the 8th show for the Australian timeline. Of course, that translates to May 9. So that could be an opportunity for you, or you might decide that, hey, I'm going to be really nervous. Let's just wait for the next show. Because I remember my first show. Oh my gosh. And that'll be 12 years ago in September.
Wow.
I was so terrified. And I was utterly beside myself with terror. But here's the really exciting thing, everyone. Marianne's in Melbourne. Ha ha.
Aha.
Elain Ann's in Melbourne too. I'm in Brisbane. So what we're going to do, everyone, with Elain Ann is we're going to do some practice shows. And I haven't actually mentioned this to you, Elain Ann, but we'll do them live.
I go with the flow.
You do go with the flow. So we'll do the practice show, the couple of practice shows live. It won't be long shows, but we'll pop on and do some live training with Elain Ann. So if you see us on a training show, please do stop by and add your support. Carol is with us. Yay.
Hi, Carol.
Carol, lovely to have you with us. I was just sharing, Carol, that Elain Ann, who you can see right there on your screen, ta-da, is a numerologist. Ta-da. And she's very excited to have a new show on Angel Heart Radio. And I know that you're in Australia, so that's going to be May 9 will be her first show. So anything that you're interested in or want to know, or maybe want clarification on with numerology, anything you want to learn, Elain's show is going to be the one for you. So that at the moment is going to be on Monday in the USA, May 8, Tuesday in Australia, May 9 at 11. What time did we decide? I've forgotten.
I've forgotten.
Okay. Okay. So we'll let you know.
I think it was 10 till 11 or.
Oh, no, it's later than that because that's one of my grandchildren days and I've got to get back to support you. So
yes.
Anyway, we'll let you know, everyone.
Right. It was afternoon, I think, but we'll work it out.
Most important thing is that she's coming.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, right?
That's a good thing. We're all
Okay,
happy.
so thank you, everyone. How lovely that you've been with us, and thanks for sticking with us because it was a bit of a rocky beginning.
Yeah, it was.
It was a little bit clunky to start with.
I'll have my laptop next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which will be a lot easier than the iPad. Now, Carol says, let us know when, and I will jump on. So she's interested in your show. So that's fantastic.
Okay. Thank you, Carol.
Oh, and Carol, Elain Ann will be doing numerology readings on some of her shows. So keep an eye open for that as well.
That's right. Even explaining it all. So they can do their own little thing for themselves or friends.
I love that. I love that. Empowering our audience to take the information, understand it, and apply it in their own lives. You know, maybe get your girlfriends over and say, hey, come and have a cup of, I'll work out your life path number for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's all hidden numbers as well, so we can work on them as well.
Gotta love a good hidden number.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you were there. Okay, fantastic. All right, everyone. So you know that Elain Ann is coming very soon. You know that she's going to have some live practice shows, which you can jump on as well. My program is on Sunday in the USA, Monday in Australia at 10:30 a.m. Brisbane, Australia, which I believe is 8:30 Eastern right now, because you guys are in daylight savings. So, and I do readings once a month as well. And Carol Ann often joins me, which is really great. And you can book a private session with me as well on Angel Heart Radio. So, Elain Ann, we've got a lot to be grateful for, don't we?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
And even if we're feeling a bit flat, just know it'll pass. And I know things can consume you, but it's like take a day at a time, and you will resolve things. We always land on our feet. And if we're going through emotional stuff, it's talking about look back and see how much you've grown and thank those people. I'm not saying you should have to, but thank those people for making who you are today, your strength, your inner growth, and you glow with everything you do. Yeah.
And it's so true because, oh, sorry, hon, sorry.
No, I was going to say thank you. You.
Very welcome. It's been fun. And I love that, you know, leaving on that note. Okay, so we've got Synchronicity. Marianne says, thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you. Blessings to you both. Blessings to you too.
Thank you.
Elaine says, grateful for you both. Thank you. Right back at you. So yes, it's Carol, it's so great that you were able to join us right at the end. The replay is available if you'd like to, you know, you will see what I mean about our very clunky beginning. The power of gratitude is enormous, and it's one of the first powers I can forget to tap into when things are very challenging. But luckily, it's brought to my attention in some way, or I remember, or a friend might remind me. So, Elain Ann, how blessed we are to have had the time together today as I'm standing in for Annette. So thank you, Annette, for making this possible. Wonderful. It's
absolutely
fun too.
Wonderful.
Lots of fun. Yep.
Lots and lots.
Yes. Okay, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember to embrace your own gifts. This is a journey that absolutely there isn't another person on the planet can do for us. So embrace your own gifts. Remember that you're amazing. Remember your magnificence. I invite you to check out Elain Ann on Facebook. You'll find Elain Ann, no E, Elain Ann. Is it numerology or numerologist? I forget.
Numerologist.
Numerologist. You heard it. You heard it live. Elain Ann, no E, numerologist. Yeah. You'll find her. And my website. And angellight777.com. If you haven't been there, you will fall in love immediately. It's just a gorgeous place to be, and there's lots and lots of free goodies there for you. Thanks, Elain Ann.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Our pleasure. And thank you, everyone. Take good care of yourselves. Remember how amazing you are and that you really matter in the world. And I will see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.